What is up, everybody? How are you? And welcome to another Monday Chris and Amanda show. Happy Chris and Amanda Day, Amanda Sharp.
Happy Chris and Amanda Day, Chris Baglio. What a fun, we always say what a fun way to start our week. And we mean that sincerely every single week. We'll never stop saying it.
It's so true.
It just gets us in our groove to do everything we need to do.
It does. It really does. It's so we build up so much anticipation to get to Monday, and then we do Monday, and then the week is filled with clips and all kinds of funny stuff that happened during the show that we're putting out on Instagram and TikTok. And then it's like, okay, now here's the new list of songs. And then the anticipation starts all through the weekend again. And then
Absolutely.
I'm getting my notes together, and it's you and I are doing our little notes and chats with each other, and then it's like we're live on the air. It's great.
And I don't want to say this week was easy notes compared to last week, but it was a little bit more traditional notes than last week. So anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, Amanda got a heavy dose of some heavy Black music, and holy smokes.
Yeah, last week's commissioned episode, and once again, thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Dan Christian, so much for commissioning last week's episode, which was it was all filled with black metal, extreme metal, some really classic thrash, and not really death metal, but just more of the classic extreme, with Merciful Fate being the foundation of that European death metal sound, thrash metal sound. So it was a really fun show to do. I mean, it was, some of those songs were definitely out of my realm of how far I go down the rabbit hole, but it was a lot of fun to do it. And I know that for you, it was way out of your comfort zone for sure, but you were like a total pro. You went right in.
I don't want to, people pay good money to have that show commissioned, and I don't want them to feel disappointed and that they didn't get their money's worth. So yes, I did dive all the way in, and I'm alive today to speak of it.
Yeah, no, you are alive. You look healthy, you look fit, you look very refreshed. So I think maybe that episode was you needed a release, and that episode provided the release you needed.
Yeah, it was like a cleanse.
Right. All that aggressive music was wow, now I feel so I have so much more room in the world for other feelings.
Yeah, this song doesn't feel so bad compared to those.
You went all the way to one side, and now we're kind of calibrating it back out and falling backward somewhere in the middle.
Chris's list to me this week was easy listening compared to last week.
I know, I figured that much. Well, I really wanted to the last couple weeks, not that I've given you a ton of super heavy stuff, but I've given you some things that have been a little uncharted waters for you, and you've given really cool reviews and reactions to those. And then last week was okay, now it's we're gonna break the meter, which was commissioned. I did not pick those songs. I did not influence those songs. Contrary to popular opinion, I had nothing to do with the picking of those songs at all. That was 100% commissioned. Dan did that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this week was well, let me give you, let me just give you something that's not Der Einer
music that will make my ears bleed.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, Chris, because I didn't ask this last week.
Yeah.
On the spectrum of that type of music, is that about as deep into the rabbit hole one can go, or does it go deeper?
It goes deeper.
So Dan was actually holding back a little bit just to be completely.
He gave us some really good out there stuff. I mean, it was a good sampling of the different sub genres of the genre, and it kind of brought us through the timeline a little bit. But there is stuff that goes even deeper and darker than that, Amanda Sharp.
Well, if anyone wants to take me there, commission another show.
Well, and there you go. So, which leads me to this. So, if you want to pick the songs and commission an episode of the Chris and Amanda show, all you have to do is go over to our Buy Me a Coffee page, and you can use the links in the show notes, or you can head over there. Just go over to Buy Me a Coffee /TC&AS, and you'll see it right there. Commission a full show, or you could, while you're there, you can just buy us a coffee too, and we'll be happy to thank you and mention you here on our show and give you lots of props and thanks over on the social platforms that we're on. So any help over there is appreciated, whether you want to commission a show or just buy us a coffee. Both of those options are perfectly acceptable.
And speaking of honorable mentions, we
Yes.
cannot not mention our very sweet and huge hype girl for this show.
Oh my gosh, yes.
She's amazing. Stephanie Jansen, thank you so much for giving us our Chris and Amanda Day tribute for the morning this morning.
Yes.
It was fantastic. It was so like thorough and so sweet and just all about like us. And I don't even think she mentioned her name. So we want to give her amazing kudos. Go follow her on Instagram and Fireside if you're there, just because she's just a huge cheerleader and great addition to our community.
Oh, absolutely 100%. And she's just amazing person. And such a huge fan of the show. And we appreciate all of her support because she's always been very supportive of us since we started the show, which we're coming up soon on a year. In April, it'll be a year since we've been doing the show. So it's coming up soon, everybody.
So hard to believe. It's so much
hard to believe.
We've kind of like fine-tuned the show, but boy, like, is it still the same fun kind of format? And speaking of format, Chris, do you want to explain how our very complicated show works?
Well, that was a very professional transition, Amanda. Thank you for that. So yes, if this is your first time listening to the Chris and Amanda show, well, then we welcome you. Thank you so much for taking a little time out of your day to listen to us, whether you're watching or listening to us live right now, or you're listening to the replay, wherever you get podcasts, or if you're on any of the streaming channels such as YouTube. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. How the show works, very, very simple. Amanda and I pick 3 songs to share with each other that we don't think the others heard each and every week. And then we come here on the show and we review and react to those 3 songs and share our reviews and reactions with all of you. And how we do it is we rate everything on a very complicated, really, I mean, this took us like hours of textbook homework and reading, and we drew some diagrams to come up with this elaborate system of rating, which is a system of rating things from 1 to 5 records, with 1 being a dumpster fire of a song and number 5 being like, this is the golden pearly gates of heaven opening up and welcoming me to it with their angelic voices. That level of the song. Yes, exactly. So if you love that kind of style of show, this is the show for you. And why the show works so well, if this is your first time listening to us, is Amanda and I, as good as friends as we are, we both listen to completely different styles of music. We're both fans of completely different music, but we do share some likes together. But Amanda comes from a much more country and western music, as well as pop and Christian music, and I'm much more on the hard rock, metal, punk, hardcore scale of things, and that's why this show is so hilarious, as people have told me.
And I say so many things that I don't regret, but I go, how did that come out of my mouth? If I re-listen to some of the show,
oh my gosh,
I were making clips and stuff, I go, I can't believe I said that. Like, what made me say those words? But
it happens,
and that is sometimes our funnest clips.
It really is. Sometimes those are our best. And believe me, and I've been putting clips out from our last show, the commissioned episode, and there are still more. There's so many more. It's so great. It's so awesome. So before we dive in and share our songs, we'll check in real quick. We got a few friends checking in. James Scott, what's up? Chris Vaglio and Amanda Sharp, what is up?
James. Thank you for watching live.
Yes, absolutely. Host of the Across the Pond podcast, as well as the Across the Pond Sports Network. So absolutely. He's got a sports empire going on. So make sure you follow him over there. And of course, our very, very dear friend, Miss Melissa Stetcher from the Hopeful Simplicity podcast, and
who has an equally big empire of simplifying your life.
Yes, very much simplify. If you want to simplify your life, get a hold of Melissa.
Go find Melissa.
Yeah. All right. So Amanda Sharp,
I'm ready.
What songs are we covering today?
So your songs, me this week, Chris.
Yes.
Number 1 song, 2,000 Light Years Away by Green Day. Number 2 song to me is If It's Here When We Get Back, It's Ours by Texas Is the Reason. That I think I did in one breath, even though it was very long.
You did. That was good. You did all. I was like, is she gonna
long?
You nailed it.
And then number 3 to me was Unbreakable by New Year's Day.
Wonderful. And your songs to me, I am glad to say that two of these, actually, I didn't know any of these songs, but two of the artists were brand new to me. So your first track to me was Deltamon Blues by Hurray for the Riff Raff. Second song is Heart's Content by Brandi Carlile, who has been no stranger to this show because I feel like this may be the third or fourth Brandi Carlile song you've shared with me since we started doing the show. So I think you're a big fan.
Very much.
So Brandi Carlile, if you're listening to the show, Amanda Sharp is a huge fan.
Huge.
Yes. And your last song to me is from Sammy Ray and the Friends with Good Life. The Good Life.
Good choices, right?
All really good choices. This is a solid playlist of songs. So I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. And I'll go ahead and start right into Green Day. 2,000 light years away.
Do you know who Green Day is?
Yes.
Okay. Have you heard Green Day prior to this song? Okay.
I can't think of the titles of their songs, but yes.
Okay.
They have some serious hits that I know I kind of live under a rock. We all know this, but even for me to not know some of their most popular songs, it would be pretty pathetic if I didn't know. So I do know who Green Day is.
Check and check.
Check and check. And that was one of my notes. I know this band, LOL. I LOL my own notes. What is wrong with me, friends?
LOL like your own notes.
I should not be allowed to have purple paper and a pencil.
Wow.
Hold on to your seats there, friends. I know they're super popular, but ... But they're just not my favorite. I feel like you know exactly what you're getting every single time they're going to open up their mouth. I don't. I appreciate their success. So congratulations. Right. I can't argue with their success, but I'm just grateful we live in a world with lots of different artists that I get to choose from.
So is this but I gotta imagine your rating's probably better than you're probably gonna rate this higher than Enslaved or
well, actually,
or Behemoth.
Yeah. Yes, because Bartholomew I gave to
Beowulf.
Beowulf. Honest to God, what's wrong with me?
It'll be higher than Dying Fetus. Let's just say that.
You're not wrong there. But I had to Google what is it? What is the gem, or the stone, the malachite, or how do they say that? Because I didn't know what that meant, the lyrics.
Oh, I'm like, oh my gosh.
I speak English so badly.
I'm like
fluently.
Malachite.
Malachite, thank you.
I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what?
He's like, I speak Amanda pretty good, but I'm not following.
I know I was my Amanda whispering powers were down for a little bit.
We were down. I mean, with good reason, because I just couldn't I'm like, Malachite? What? But that's not what I said. And I didn't know what that was. So I feel like the lyrics kind of fell flat for me. The song was exactly what I expected from a Green Day, song. So it's just what it is. I don't hate it. I wouldn't skip it. I'm so sorry, Chris. I feel like you're judging.
I'm not judging. So what is your official rating of
my official rating is I'm just going to go in with 3 records. It doesn't deserve a 2, but I can't justify a 4.
So let's just okay. So maybe just a quick note here. We can make the decision on the air. Okay. So I know in the past we have said that we don't do percentages on numbers or points or anything like that.
Yeah.
But the reason why was because it was too hard to make the graphic. We don't really make the graphic anymore.
No.
So I'm gonna move, and maybe the listeners here who are listening can also participate and vote and let us know. Mm-hmm. But do you think that we should start instituting a percentage?
What's that?
Now we don't think it crazy.
Decimal.
Right, decimal. That a decimal is about. Should we start instituting a decimal rating into our 1 to 5 records rating system.
Our system's about to get complicated.
So, but I don't know. Maybe we keep it traditional. I'm just saying.
I feel like it gives us a little bit more room to play, because I think sometimes you're like, it's not quite a 4, but I think it could get there. And for that reason, it should be a 3.8. And I think that helps. But in this song, I think it's just a 3.
Okay. So this song is a solid 3 records for you. However, so once again, we're gonna ask the audience, do you think that we should begin instituting a decimal point to our 1 to 5 record rating, such as like, so instead of a song being like a 3 or 4, it could be like a 3.5 or a 3.8 or a 3.2.
I'm game for that. If you're game for that and our fans are game for that, let's see what they say.
So let your voices be heard. That's a benefit of being a listener of the show, especially the live ones.
This is live, and for anyone listening live, get in on the voting. Tell us what you think.
Yes.
We have thick skin. We've been doing this for many episodes, so we've heard it.
That is right.
Mr. James Scott probably was the most vocal of all of our listeners when Chris gave Uptown Girl a 2. Not a 2.1, not a 2.2. No, like he considered a 1 on that one.
It's a 2.
It's a 2. So 3 records for 2,000 Light Years Away by Green Day.
Okay. All right. Very good. I accept your 3 records.
Thank you. Thank you.
I accept your 3 records. All right. So getting into your pick for me. So Hurray for the Riff Raff song was called Delta Mom Blues. Had never heard of Hurray for the Riff Raff before. So this was actually a treat because I really enjoyed, I'm just going to say right off the bat, I really enjoyed this song. And I enjoyed the style of it, and even the recording I thought was really cool. I like the lo-fi, the lo-fi-ness of the song. So I wanted to find out a little bit about Hurray for the Riff Raff. So they are a band from New Orleans that were formed by Alindra Segarra, a singer-songwriter from the Bronx, New York, after they moved to New Orleans in 2007. This song is off of the record My Dearest Darkest Neighbor, which was released in 2013, and it features many covers. Mostly, I think this entire record is all covers from Billie Holiday, Julia Welch, Lead Belly, John Lennon, Lucinda Williams, Joni Mitchell, Hank Williams, George Harrison, and what this song is a cover of is Townes Van Zandt, which was originally recorded by Townes Van Zandt, written and recorded in 1970 off of the record Delta Mama Blues.
Delta Mama Blues.
This is a cover song of that song. So right off the bat, I was like, wow, the recording is so like vintage sounding. I was shocked to see it was 2013, but I was also like I was also happy about it, because I'm like, that's really cool that, you know, some of the artists, especially the younger ones, are really discovering this music and doing something with it. So, you know, I dug a little bit digging into Townes Van Zandt, and he definitely was a folk artist, much more in the Appalachian sound of things. And so I thought that was interesting. And then her taking the song and arranging it I thought it was just very good. So I was really into it. It introduced me to the world of Hurray for the Riff Raff that I hadn't heard before. So I've been listening to all the different records. I listened to this record, and it's very cool. So I like it a lot. So I would give this version of this song, or just give this song. I'm going to give it a 4 records. I almost went a 3.8, but I listened to it several more times before we got on, and it got up to a 4 for me. I really like it. I think it's cool.
But it's very like twangy though. Like
it is.
So when Chris is giving it 4 records, it shows the other components are so amazing in this twangy song that it got a 4 record, because her voice is fantastic, though.
Her voice is phenomenal.
Are not ready for her to be twangy with that voice. And
did not expect that.
Her appearance, again, you wouldn't necessarily guess that twang's ready to come out of her mouth. And the way she covers some of her songs are just so fantastic. So I love her. And when I heard it again, I was like, oh, this is a good one to send to Chris, because I just didn't know if the twang would override her amazing talent.
I typically don't go for the twangy stuff, but I like like I said, like I like the sound of her voice. I like the fact that, you know, the recording sounded very vintage and lo-fi, and the whole thing just was like, I was really into it. So it's like garage country.
Yeah.
You know, like how there's garage rock. It's like country garage or garage country. So I dug it. I think it's cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you for my 4 records with that
You are
song.
welcome. Yeah, and I like this. This was a cool artist to check out. So new artist for me to dive into.
I love it. And the fact that I actually got 3 songs you didn't know, and I knew you knew obviously Brandi because we've had
Right.
her on our playlist before, but that's hard to do. For anyone like not understanding how hard that is to do, it is hard to do. Chris knows his music. So I
I
love it.
try.
You do. Moving on to a number 2 song from Chris to me. If it's here when we get back, it's ours by Texas is the reason.
Yes.
So I'm gonna be honest. When I saw that when you sent it to me on our list, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love the name." And we lived in Texas for several
Yeah.
years, so I'm like, "Oh, Texas is the reason." I'm digging that too. So I had this expectation in my head of what this song was gonna sound like, Chris.
And
I was so sad. It did not in any way get close to what I had in my head.
you got excited because you saw the word Texas.
I did. And I really like the concept of it fits here when we get back, it's ours. Like, I really felt like it was going to be a love song where, like, if people like part ways to try and figure themselves out and they might get back together. Like, I really
Mhm.
had this expectation it could be like a song in a Lifetime movie. Nope.
But
Nope.
nope, it's a good rocker. It's a rocking tune.
I immediately, like, very first, like, couple notes, I was like, well, there goes that idea of love.
It's still a
So,
love song.
um, it is a love song
You know why? Actually, I don't think it is. I think it's more of
because
like a that's
I
not. It's more of a I gotta remember. I haven't. It's
one
been
of my
actually a
notes
while
is
since
I
I.
don't understand what this song means because it's it's like he hates the world
Mhm.
and he's like doesn't want to pretend that he likes people because he has no use for people. And a little bit of the song was like, that could be a song about Marcus. And it's almost like he tolerates the world. I was like, yeah, he tolerates me. Like so for as I'm reading the lyrics, I felt as though
Right.
like there was a little understanding, but it just was like all over the place. So I didn't really understand the lyrics. And I'm not gonna lie. This week I've been listening to Christmas music. We all know I don't limit it to July and just the Christmas season.
We know that.
And I needed a little pick me up. So I've been in the,
And this song did it. This
song
song is great. This
this
song is so much fun.
it didn't do it for me because I was like
Oof.
"Merry Christmas, Darling" by the
Man,
Carpenters, and then
you're like
boom.
poo-pooing on 2 really good fun songs.
I'm so sorry.
You don't have to be sorry. You're just wrong.
So fair. So with all of that drama and that hype up from that awesome name, it went down from 5 to 4 to 3.
Boy, well, at least it's a 3, but this is a fun song. Full disclosure, I kinda know these guys,
You
but
do?
I've seen them a ton of times. So they were a band that, like, broke out of, like they were in the post-hardcore scene. All these guys were, like, in hardcore bands before, came together, made this EP. This song was off their first EP. Then they did a record, and then they kind of imploded and broke up. And they were, like, right
Mm.
at the cusp when all the bands were getting signed. When Green Day got signed and Jimmy Eat World got signed,
Oh,
like, they were, like, right there, and it just things just happens with bands.
that's a
Sometimes
bummer.
things just don't go the way you want, so they didn't actually ever get signed to like the big label. But this band is just they're so much fun. They've held up. I mean, this was released in 1996 and it's still,
Mhm,
or 95 actually, I think, at this
mhm.
point. So um it's a really fun song for me. I like playing on guitar too. It's a fun one. It's just like it's got all the best parts of all the different types of music that I like when it comes to punk and hardcore and even straight ahead rock. And and they evolved. I mean, this was the first
Sure.
set of songs, and then the record is like a more of a step forward too from the sound. Like they refine it, they sound better. And
Mhm.
anyway, I really like the song. I thought you might dig this song. I thought you
I
would get into like the rhythm and groove of it and the whole like bounce of it, and even like the fun breakdown part. There's no screaming, there's
No,
no
there's no screaming.
you know
And honestly, I feel like if I could have heard the lyrics a little bit better, I feel like the music really was overpowering the lyrics itself. So if
mhm.
I could have heard
It's a loud
the
song.
yeah, the lyrics a little bit better, I feel like I could have appreciated it a little bit more. So just a little critique if you're listening. Texas is the reason. Manda wants to hear your lovely voices a little bit harder.
You just Google, watch the stuff on YouTube. Watch the videos on YouTube. They're all the live stuff. They're up there. That's fine. I'll take your 3 records. It's all
I'm
good. By the way,
sorry. Disappoint.
the name of the band is from a Misfits song. By the way,
Stop it.
I am not kidding.
Misfits keep
Texas
making
is the reason. It's in the song "Bullet" by the Misfits, and the line is "Texas is the reason that the president's dead."
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I still stand by I like what their name is. Maybe a continuation of it. And we will all agree that Misfits belong in October, and that's it.
Halloween band.
No, they're a Halloween band, and I stand firmly on that.
You can stand firmly on that.
I can't hear this one. Oh boy.
All right. So your song number 2 to me, I knew you were going to be excited about this one. So Brandi Carlile, Heart's Content, originally released off of Bears Creek in 2013. I did a little bit of digging, found out that the song, according to the boot is I usually find a lot of information about a lot of the songs you send me on the boot, the blog site. And so they described the song as they put together a list of top 10 Brandi Carlile songs of all time. And this was number 6 on their list. So what they said was Heart's Content is a playful ballad about misaligned expectations in relationships and how even the best laid plans can go awry. That's what they've said this song is about. And I was like, wow, number 6 on their top 10 Brandi Carlile songs of all time. I'll have to send you that list to see if you agree.
I agree
with that list, because I'd like to see your top 10 Brandi Carlile songs list.
Ooh. Maybe I should do my top 10 and then compare it to their top 10. So
yes.
Don't send it to me yet.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Good call. So you've sent me other Brandi Carlile songs before, and I think for the most part I've been liking them. I felt like this song, so there were qualities about the song that I really liked. I like her voice. I think she's got a great voice. I liked some of the Beatles-esque instrumentation that they added in like halfway through or near the end of the song. I thought that was kind of cool. I wasn't expecting that. And I think with her, it's always like I always feel like she's doing stuff where I'm like, she's kind of mixing some like musical influences in with like, she's always got a kind of the country bass, and then she adds these other elements in, whether it's more rock based or even indie rock based or like, something like this where it's like very Beatles-esque thing comes out of like. So I thought it was cool. I've listened to the song a few times already. So originally I gave it a 3 record.
Okay.
Because I felt like it wasn't sticking with me as much as her other songs that you've sent me. However, I've listened to it a few times over now, and I really dig that Beatles-esque part. So it's boosted it up for me. So I would probably give this, so if we're gonna do percentage, if we're gonna do decimal points, I would give this a 3.8.
Okay.
On the Chris and Amanda scale of records. 3.8 records. So it'd be like 3 full records and kind of like a 10-inch EP, because a 10-inch record is like, maybe 6 songs, 3 songs on each side. So I would give it like a 10-inch. So it'd be the 3 full LPs, 3 full records, and a 10-inch. So that would be like a 3.8, I think. Or maybe,
I think that math makes sense.
Right.
I'll take 3.8.
The science. The science.
The science breakdown seemed very trackable and followable. Is followable a word? I don't know, but add that to the list of Amanda language.
And this is the moment of the show when somebody listening goes, "Yep, I'm done with this show." And unsubscribe.
But little do they know it's how it fuels us to keep going.
That's correct.
I just think I love her. I think it's no secret that I'm a huge fan, as we already have said many times. I really enjoyed the story kind of in the lyrics of this song. I just think it's a fun little ditty.
Fun little ditty.
That is a Chris phrase for anyone who hasn't heard him say that before.
The little ditty.
Little ditty. Fun little ditty. So thank you for the 3.8. I'll take it. I was hoping you would like it. I know there's others that may go up a little higher, but I think we've already played those ones. So all right.
All right.
Your number 3 song to me Unbreakable by New Year's Day.
Yes.
Now, we all know how I feel about certain band names, and I feel that some names are very limiting to certain times of the year, and I just can't fathom how it's a good business move to name a band Valentine's Day, Christmas, or something like that. So immediately when I see New Year's Day, I'm like, come on, people, you have the need for a good business manager. And then I backtrack. I'm like, I'm not on this list. They are. So obviously it's working for them. Right?
You're not on this list yet.
Yes, there we go. Because Chris and I are extreme entrepreneurs. So I think it's hard to turn off of business mode sometimes when we're digesting things.
I agreed.
So New Year's Day to me just seems a little limiting, but that's okay. Because again,
all right.
Unbreakable. I wasn't nothing special about the name because it's common term, whatever. But I really liked how it started. Really loved how it started. And then I got a little disappointed.
Okay.
And then I really liked where it went. And then I got a little disappointed again. And then it honed me back into a liking. And then I was like, maybe I don't dislike this song. So I made it all the way through, Chris. I said, we need to play this one again. I need to know what I just felt all the ways. So second time, it kind of did the same thing. But then as I was like honing in on the lyrics, I was really feeling this song.
I thought you would.
I was feeling it to the point where I was like, this on here. The next time someone really ticks me off, this is going to be my song that I'm going to have that video to. Like I could have been in a video in advance for someone ticking me off to this song.
Yep. I could see you doing, I could totally see Amanda Sharp doing that chorus on a reel or something like that.
Yes. And I may or may not like say who it was about. But more than likely not, because I don't like to do that. But if someone's wronged me and they think they've wronged me, then they'll know. Those who need to know will know.
When this song comes out, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble. You're in trouble. So I have it reserved for that special reel for that special reel when that time comes. So I'm thankful for this song in advance for that.
Okay.
I love the phrase like unbreakable pieces don't shatter. I just feel like it's such a great song for haters. It almost makes me think like it could have been a song by Taylor Swift. Like,
yeah. Well, basically, yeah. I mean, Taylor Swift is, if you want to get really popular, date Taylor Swift, and she's going to write a song about you.
She'll write a song about you. So I feel like she would not have sung this song correctly and did it justice. I feel like the way it was sung, they really hit the nail on the head of what they were trying to get across. So I really liked it. So it started as a 4. I knew I kind of liked it after I got the shock of the up and the down. But it absolutely moved up to a 5.
Wow.
Well, I heard it probably for the first time.
A 5 record. I got a 5 record from you today.
And I shocked myself by that rating because when I heard it first, would never have thought it would have landed at a 5.
Yep. Yeah, I purposely put the song on here. Because I said, I think you're gonna like this song, but you're not gonna. I had a feeling it was gonna take a few listens for you, but I'm like, I know you're gonna like the lyrics, and I know you're gonna get into like the feel of the song, even though it starts off like kind of heavy, and you were probably getting like, oh no,
it was.
Am I getting prepared? Am I gonna get prepared for some like Cookie Monster vocals or some screaming? And it never went there. Yeah.
It didn't come. It didn't come.
Yeah, this you know what, this was a late ad because I had another song for you, and I was like, I wanted to throw something in that was a little bit different. I'm sure you've never heard these guys before, but I said I think you may dig this song, and so I was like, I swapped the song out, so you'll get this other song down the line, but I wanted to get, I thought this would be a good song for you to get into. And then I was like, maybe she'll explore the other New Year's Day catalog. So they're a pretty, they're been a band that's been around for a few years. The singer Ash Costello, she also does like, and you may like this, they do like sort of a Halloween band called the Haxons. And all the songs are like, like B-movie horror. Like it's so campy and so over the top. And it's funny. And they're like, gothic, and she dresses like a vampire. It's like, it's so like over the top, but it's fun. It's really fun. It's So you might dig that because it's done in that like way for sure. It's like straight up Halloween music. Like it's great.
And if anyone's new to the show, just wait until this October because Cruz and I love Halloween.
We do. Yeah. You can actually listen to the 2 Halloween episodes we've done in season 1 by checking out the previous season. I don't they're like closer to the end of the year, but they're in there. There's 2 of them. There's 2 of them. There's 2.
Yeah, we enjoyed that, and we'll plug that anytime, and we're already looking forward to it. And I know it's February. It's not October right now, but you'll enjoy the episodes. It's great.
You will. You will. There's a lot of good songs on there. All right. So your last song to me is dun dun dun. Somebody else I'd never heard of before. Sammy Ray and the Friends. Now, at first, my expectation going into this when I heard this was I thought for sure this was going to be some country twangy stuff. Like 100. I was like, oh, okay. So what, I was expecting like something like akin to like Dukes of Hazzard or something like that. Like
just good old boys.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was going to be something like really twangy. I mean, in the first song you gave me was twangy, but it's like
edgy.
I don't know. Yeah. This I was like, okay, now I'm gonna be getting some like Amanda style country here. And I was pleasantly surprised, like really surprised. It is not any of those things at all.
At all.
So I'd be interested to hear where you heard this song, but don't tell me yet. So I was like, okay, I heard this song and I was like really blown away by like the feel of it, the hooks. It had like a very like 60s like pop sound to it mixed in with I almost to like not that she sounds like Sia, like but
Agreed.
she's got they share similar qualities in their voice.
Yep.
So I'm if anybody listens to the show knows I'm a big Sia fan. So I gravitated towards that, but I love the arrangement of the music. I loved that there was horns and piano and guitar. It's just very like big sounding, very Phil Spector meets, had that kind of that sound, with today, like made more relevant. So, and I think that has to do with the way she sings and her vocal stylings for sure. So I think that makes it very like relevant. So a little bit about Sammy Ray. I was like, I got to find out about Sammy Ray. So Sammy, this is off of her Bandcamp page, by the way. So she's a singer, songwriter, band leader, human being. Samantha Bowers was born in the small town of Derby, Connecticut. At age 19, Sam moved to New York to pursue songwriting. Sammy Ray and the Friends released in July of 2018. The self-proclaimed EP, The Good Life, marked a fresh start for the seasoned vocalist, showcasing her skills as a composer, arranger, lyricist, band leader, and their 4th release. And then I found this really cool article from in the Daily Record. I'm sorry, the Daily News here in New York. And it was a big write-up on her. I just took an excerpt because I wanted, once again, more background about who she is. I was like, wow, this is like really amazing stuff. So this is from November of 2020. Sammy Ray, or Samantha Bauer, has played plenty of music that precedes those of her current Spotify page due to getting into music at a young age. She began her career by performing at local venues in her home state of Connecticut. Before the age of 18, she had already released 3 LP records that she self-composed. Since then, she's moved to New York to immerse herself in the music scene. She performs her music with a team of rotating musicians, the Friends, that provide accompaniment in the form of various instruments and backup singing. So that's who the Friends are. So I love too that they keep saying band leader, and that's kind of what I felt like. I kind of like, she is like leading this band. She's right. Like I think it's cool. Really into this song. I listened to it a few times, and then I listened to the whole EP. Because the whole EP is fantastic, and then now I'm want to dive into her other stuff. So, if you are into like definitely like that pop sound of, like that wall of sound, it's not Motown, but it's got that instrumentation, and it's a really good mix, and her vocals are great. I think you're gonna really really dig this. So, I would love to see them play live. I think they'd probably be great. So, and considering New York and Connecticut. Now they're like on my radar. So I dig this. So Sammy Ray and the Friends with the song The Good Life will be getting a 5 records from me because I really, really like this song. I think it's a cool song. This is cool. So where did you hear this?
So I have to thank Spotify because as our playlist ends because I do listen to our playlist just like from top to
Right.
bottom oftentimes. So as it stops, like music doesn't stop. It just kind of starts going on to something else.
Yeah.
And I heard this for the very first time. I was like, what is this? And I fell in love with everything. It just was so fantastic.
Yeah.
And I hoped you would really love all of the elements. And I feel like to get above a 3 for you, it's sometimes about the voice.
It is.
And of course, how raw it is and stuff. And then the other components are important too. But the voice can like really make or break your scoring. So when I heard her voice, I was like, oh, I think this could be a really good song.
Yeah, you know me well. But yeah, I thought, because you know what, too, the song was interesting to me as well, and it had a lot of good components, and just made it fun. It was a fun song to listen to.
Yeah.
So I dig this. I would love to see her play live. So I'm like, she's on my radar. I want to go see what if she's playing, and yeah, I would love to go see her live. I think she'd be amazing.
So you never would have known her
Nope.
if this show did not exist. And that's why we do the show.
Yes, this is why we do the show. And if you want to listen to any of the songs that we've talked about, all you have to do is use the link in the show notes or the comments or wherever the video description. It's a link to our Spotify playlist for the 2022 year of the show, 2022 edition of the show. So all the songs that we've talked about so far are on there, including these, like all the songs on today. You can listen to these songs and check it out and see if you agree with us and our ratings, or maybe you'll find your next new like favorite song or artist this way. So hopefully you guys do that, and the reason why too, so I already asked, and I say this a lot, but the reason why we do not play the songs on the show is because we're on so many different platforms. Every platform has a different rule about playing music and how long you can play music, and some of them will just block you straight off. And we want to make sure the show is accessible to everybody as much as possible. So that's why we decided to just keep the songs to a playlist, which you can access, and we don't actually play the songs on the show. So that is that reason why. But, explore, find these artists yourselves. Like if you don't have Spotify, look for them on Pandora or YouTube or wherever you listen to online music, because most of the stuff is out there.
Absolutely. And maybe one day we'll be so big with the help of our amazing listeners that people will pay us to play those songs on our show. However, until then, we got to play by the rules so we don't get banned.
We do have to play by the rules. And Raphael's giving us a high five.
High five right back to you, friend.
Or a high. Hey, how are you? Thanks for listening, Raph. Appreciate it.
I love it. Well, what a good show. I feel like we really did a good job keeping the time frame as close to possible as we could to that.
We did.
We aimed for 30 minutes when we first started this new format, and it seems like 45 minutes is where we land. So thank you and we used to do it for an hour for those who don't know, and we always went over at an hour. We could talk for hours and hours and hours about music. So when we cut it off at 45, I know that that's hard for us.
It's very hard for us. It's difficult, for sure, because Amanda and I can see us doing the show for like 3 hours every day. So
all day long. Yeah.
All day long. Yeah.
And still not run out of things to say. But
right. Exactly. Plenty of songs to listen to, review, react to. And of course, when, everybody chimes in and chats, we always love that too. So we appreciate those who hang out with us live every single Monday at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when we do the show live. Of course, welcome to everybody, and thank you to everybody actually for everybody who listens to the podcast feed and watches the videos on YouTube and reshares and comments and all that. So it's all great. The more you do it, the more it helps us and helps us grow the show. We appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you follow us over on Instagram and TikTok, where we're posting all kinds of show clips and other fun stuff throughout the week. Amanda definitely posts a lot of fun things. You're very good. You're very good with this.
They're just, we're quotable. What can we say?
we have fun. We have fun.
We have fun.
Yeah. And of course, we always appreciate all of your support. If you can head over to buymeacoffee.com /TC&AS. You can use the link in the description or the show notes, and feel free to buy us a coffee. Every little bit helps. It helps us grow the show. It helps us pay some of the bills around here. And of course, if you want to commission an episode, that's the cool thing. That's the thing all the cool kids are doing is commissioning episodes. You can commission a whole episode. You, your friends, whatever. You can all pull together and just send us 6 songs of your liking, of your choosing, that Amanda and I will react to and review live on the show, and you get to own the whole episode. So you can also get to that by heading over to buymeacoffee.com/TCAS. Click the little button that says extras, and boom, you can commission an episode.
That was fun.
Any final words, Amanda Sharp?
Commission a show.
Yes.
And us, of course. No, just thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. It helps us build our audience, and we're just so grateful for every single one of you.
Absolutely, 100%. And so with that, we're going to call it a day. So we'll see you guys next Monday at 2:15 p.m. for another live show. Do all the things Amanda said, and we'll see you next time. Later.
Bye, everyone.